Welcome, Mike. It's great to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. So I read through your intake paperwork and understand that you're here today because of maybe with some struggling with alcohol use. Is that right?
Yeah, my wife, she wanted me to come in, so I thought it'd be a good idea to give it a try. I don't really think I need to be here, but I'll
Okay.
try it.
All right. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. I am, if you see me looking over, or if you hear me typing, I'm taking notes. I'm not ignoring you, I'm listening. Uh, and just so you know as well, everything that you tell me in this session is going to be confidential. Is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Perfect. All right, so let's get started then here. Um, First question for you. Have you ever attended therapy before?
No, this is my first time.
Okay. So then tell me a little bit about what brings you in today.
Well, honestly, um, I was saying before, my wife wanted me to come in, um, and she's kind of concerned about me. Um, I think I'm getting a little concerned about myself too. So I've been struggling with some alcohol um, abuse, and I kind of hit rock bottom recently. I had a doctor's appointment, like a checkup, and my doctor's telling me that I need to see a specialist because I've actually got a problem with my liver, and it's not doesn't look like it's going to be functioning too much longer if I keep up these behaviors. I didn't really think I had a problem. I kind of just was drinking to socialize and cope with my life, which I think everybody does. Um, but now I've lost about 20 pounds, and I'm having trouble sleeping. Um, and I've actually was so worried about it that I stopped drinking a couple of weeks ago, and that has made me feel terrible because I just kind of have like this butterflies in my stomach, and I can't seem to relax, and I wake up like every 2 hours. Um, and I lost a lot of weight, which I think I already said, but
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like you're dealing with a lot right now. So let me get this straight. So you've been struggling with some alcohol abuse, and you recently have hit rock bottom. Um, you went to a recent doctor's appointment, and they're telling you that you need to see a specialist due to some liver issues. Is
that's
that
correct.
correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if did I mention the thing about my daughter yet, or we can talk about that after.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that. So then that brings me to your history. You want to talk a little bit about your family history, maybe your parents, any siblings you may have?
Sure. So well, I still am. I'm the youngest of three children. I've got two older sisters.
Okay.
Jenny's 57, and Joan, she's 62. Um, yeah, they used to tease me and call me Baby Mickey. Um, Joan was definitely the family favorite. She was my dad's favorite. Um, Dad used to say, like, I was a mistake and I should have been born a girl, and Joan should have been born the boy because she acts more like a man than I do.
Oh boy. Okay.
Um,
So you get along with your sisters?
no, I don't speak to them. I don't speak to either one of them. Um, they remind me too much of my parents. Um,
Okay. What
and
so talk
both my
about your
parents,
parents then a little bit.
sure. So both my parents are deceased. Um, they were actually both alcoholics. my relationship was pretty negative with both of them, but mom was nice, but she really never stuck up for me. Dad was abusive, physically abusive and verbally abusive. Pretty much drank all the time and spent the little money that we had on gambling and drinking and not buying food.
Okay. So it sounds like you had a little bit of trauma growing up.
Yes, I sure did.
Okay. So we can work through that as well if that's something you're interested in.
Sounds good.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about your culture growing up, surrounding maybe mental health, diagnoses or health, diagnoses in general.
So a little bit about my culture, my family. Well, like I'm not like currently really super religious, but I'd like to be. I've had some troubles from the past with my parents, but more specifically with my dad. My parents used to say that we were Catholic. Both my sisters were, or I was. We all were baptized as infants, but my sisters both had their first communion. I did not, and I felt bad about that. Um, my, I guess my dad, according to my mom, said that we stopped going to mass because Father Jerry called him out on not paying the bills and drinking away all the money, and he didn't like that. So he decided that nobody would go. Um, so I still feel kind of bad about that because I missed out on the first communion.
Okay.
But we have both sides of my family are Irish American. Um,
Okay. So it sounds like religion is pretty important to you, would you say?
yeah, I would like to try to explore it a little bit more, or actually do something with it.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned your wife earlier. Um,
Yes.
can you talk a little bit about your marriage? When did you get married?
So we are just about to be married for 30 years.
Wow, that's an achievement. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure how that happened. um, I call Rita, lovely Rita. She's pretty much the best thing in my life right now. I don't know why she decided to stay with me this long. That's a mystery to me. Um, we've never been married at other points in our life, so this was like the solo marriage for both of us. Um, we have 5 children, um,
Oh, wow. Okay.
3 boys and 3 girls. Um, we've got John, James, and Mike Jr. And then our 2 daughters, Maria and Mary. Unfortunately, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because Maria and Mike Jr. are both uh, alcoholics, and Mary's also recently been taking some drugs. I guess she's getting into that meth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and she actually this was kind of like the last straw. About a year ago, she attempted. She had like a failed, thank the Lord, a suicide attempt by taking a bottle of Zoloft with some vodka, and um, she was the paramedics brought her back, so she's okay. But of course, I don't feel good about that, and that's a big reason why I'm here.
So some internal struggles, maybe some guilt.
A lot of guilt. I feel like that's my fault. She's fallen after me, and that's not something I'm proud of.
Okay. I can understand that feeling. So you talk a lot about your relationship with your family members. Do you have any other close family members or relatives, maybe even some peers or coworkers that um, that can be a support for you?
Yeah, I really don't right now.
Okay.
I used to have some casual relationships of some of the guys that I worked with, but that was pretty much just with a drink in my hand at the bar after work. So I'm trying to stay away from that. Um, I would like to have some more friends, but I haven't had the time, and now I'm not really sure how to go about it. Um, I did have some close relationships when I was in the military for 4 years. Unfortunately, two of them passed away um, while I was in Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. All right, so we got a lot of trauma going on around here.
a
Um,
lot.
yeah. So you were in the military, you had some close friends that passed. I'm sorry to hear that. That must have been tough too to deal with.
Yeah, it was hard. I woke up in a hospital bed, and that's actually how I met Rita.
Okay.
She was a nurse in the hospital, and I woke up. I had just had a concussion, and I didn't actually get injured other than being knocked out. But two of the guys that were in my company both died, and several others got injured.
Oh, wow. That had to be hard to witness.
Yes, I actually just try not to think about it, and lately I've been thinking about it more because I really haven't been. I haven't been drinking, so it's kind of surfacing.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned the military. Is are you working now or are you unemployed at the moment?
I am currently working. I'm doing. I work for like a contractor that we build houses, higher end houses, and some um, like stadiums. We do like houses that are usually around the $1 million range, so higher end and stadiums. And
Okay. Um, Talk to me a little bit about your educational background.
so I never went to college, which I regret now because I could have gone for my military service. I went right into I went right into the military when I was 18. And then when I was in the military for 4 years, as soon as I got out, I started working um, a civilian job for there's a local union here for heavy machinery operation.
Okay.
And I got right in. I wanted to open my own business and build custom log houses, but I just never had the motivation, and it's kind of late for that now.
All right. So it sounds like you did have some motivation though. Do you like what you're doing now?
Sort of. I mean, it pays the bills, but
All right, so maybe not so much.
yeah, it's okay. I don't mind doing it.
Okay. What about some hobbies of yours? Maybe that
So,
keep your mind off of things that you do.
sure, when I have some free time, I like go fishing and hunting and play video games.
Okay. And those seem to be maybe like stress relieving.
Yes, yeah, it
Okay.
gets my mind off of things. I also like to watch television or like old black and white movies.
All right. All right. Okay. So you talked about your mother and father and having alcohol abuse. as well. You have any other family history of illnesses or disorders that um you want to discuss?
Well, honestly, I kind of like have some suspicions that my mother might have had like major depressive disorder and possibly seasonal affect disorder, but she was never diagnosed.
Okay.
She got really depressed, like pretty much between January and April. She would be very, very down and very sad. And I kind of feel that way too. I don't know if there's any kind of a correlation.
So so January through April, she would get like in a down,
Yes.
sad,
Yep.
low motivation type of mood.
Yes. She wouldn't want to leave the house. She would kind of stay in her room and just watch TV.
Okay.
Whereas like during the summer months, she would be more active and want to go outside and like garden and get together with friends.
Okay. And you say that you experience some of that too? Is it usually
Yeah.
during these months,
Yeah,
January through April?
that's correct. Um, we did have a little bit of history of like high blood pressure and some cardio disease on my father's side. Um,
Okay.
but ironically, he lived to be 71 and his mom died at 66. So I don't really know what happened there.
Oh, well. All right. Um, all right, so we're getting here towards the end. So we're gonna take a few minutes, just discuss what your goals may be, and what you would like to get out of this therapy treatment.
Honestly, I would like to just not have to feel all these like sad emotions and remember everything that happened with my dad and the army. But and I
Okay.
kind of feel like I can't really use alcohol to bury it anymore, but I'm not really sure how to cope otherwise.
Okay, so we want to get rid of those or find ways to cope with the sad emotions, and maybe the trauma that you have experienced with your dad in going through
Yeah,
the army.
yes, that sounds good.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you one more question. What do you think triggers your urge to drink?
Um, Honestly, I think when I start to just think about my life, past and present, but really the past, um, and it's kind of seeing how my two children are starting to follow in my footsteps, I that triggers me too.
Okay. So this is something we can definitely work on. Um, is there anything else you would like to share with me or discuss before we end our session?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Um, how are you feeling now on a scale of 1 to 10 from when you first came in?
Well, I feel better now.
Okay,
It's yeah, I wasn't feeling too good when I first came in. I feel a little bit better, so
perfect.
I think I'm 2 points in the positive direction.
Okay, well, that's what we want. So it looks like we have a good start here. Um, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me today and being so open and honest with me. I know it can be difficult to do with a stranger. Um, so like I said, it looks like we have a good start, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, Mike.
Thanks so much.